think the Golf R really shines in that it's a very livable commuting car. If you want to take it to the highway, you'll get 30 mpg. If you want to go through the back roads, you'll have the grip and the torque and the dynamics to have a little bit of fun. I love this thing. It's like a little pocket rocket. Hey guys, it's Dave with POV Drives, and today we're taking a look at a 2019 Volkswagen Golf R and how it fares on my about 15-mile commute to work. We're going to talk about this Golf R and what it's like to live with on a daily commute, shifting this 6-speed manual, driving the 288 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder, and what this hot hatchback is like to live with, comfort, visibility, all that good stuff. So let's do a quick little walk around. First off, lots of beeping from this Volkswagen Golf R, painted in this black. We have keyless entry in the front, 2 doors. Very boxy, very sporty stance for this hot hatchback. Here's the key, kind of an older style Volkswagen key. Kind of looks like similar to like you get in like a normal Golf or Jetta, but pretty usable amount of space in the back seat, even with all-wheel drive running gear. Plenty of room for a spare tire. Quad exhaust sound pretty good out the rear. Back seats, if you need to take clients to work, they're greeted with this lovely leather interior. Big fan of these seats. And getting inside at 5'10" behind my driving position. Plenty of legroom, small egress, but once you're in, got about 3 fingers worth of headroom and this amount of legroom. Pretty comfortable. Nice materials. Got this like kind of carbon fiber plastic, looks cool. Some leather here. The vents back here, no independent climate control. Center cup holders as well. Ski pass through. You can fold these seats down, get a ton of cargo practicality. So we're now loaded up with Mr. Buddy. Everyone say hi to Buddy. It is his birthday. He is about 1 year old at the time of filming. He's a little nervous and stuff. Doesn't like getting into different cars. But Buddy's got to go to daycare on his birthday. He's so excited to play with other dogs. So before we get off, we'll hook up our Apple CarPlay. We have wired Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Good amount of center console storage, kind of where I've been leaving the phone. It's not wireless CarPlay. Brings it up on this 8-inch touchscreen. Looks pretty good, pretty responsive. Menus from the native Volkswagen, pretty intuitive and fast acting as well. Lots of customization we can do. Now looking at this 12-inch gauge cluster, a couple different views you can go through with this silver button, like your navigation, Apple CarPlay. I've been leaving it on the vehicle status, not vehicle status, the driving data on like fuel economy and stuff. This will get about 22 mpg in the city, 31, 32 on the highway. Right now we're not really showing that. We're showing an average 15.3. I've been driving pretty spiritedly. We also get cruise control, but we don't get like adaptive or anything like that available in this trim of the Golf R. Other than that, we have these nice bolstered leathered seats. Good bolstering. I'm pretty comfortable, pretty snug. I like it. 2 cup holders in the center. Some more phone storage there. I like this kind of carbon fiber plastic that we saw in the back that kind of goes all the way around. Looks pretty sharp and stuff. Just gives it a little bit extra design character. Other than that, pretty functional Volkswagen interior. Nice steering wheel. I got the R logo. Lots of R logos around. I like this blue that shows up on the door sills. And in typical Volkswagen fashion, everything is beeping, bopping, and booping 24/7. But without further ado, let's get to dropping off Buddy. Talk about our drive modes. We're going to start off with normal. We have comfort, eco, and race as well, and a custom mode. You can also disable the traction here. And this gear shifter, the notches are pretty well defined in every gear. Definitely not my favorite shifter, but does have nice high quality throws, and it's a pretty forgiving clutch and friction point, so I do like that. And I also like this shift knob and stuff. I think Volkswagen shifters kind of get beat on too much in terms of compared to some of the other brands. Setting off in the Volkswagen Golf R, we have a 288 horsepower, 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, made it to this lovely 6-speed manual, God's transmission in any car, and all-wheel drive. Now this Volkswagen Golf R, what sets it apart is that it has like a dynamic chassis control DCC, I believe it is, and essentially just variable dampers and vehicle traction engine settings between the drive modes. And we also get a brake-based traction control system that'll like torque vector by brake. This isn't the newer Golf generation, so we don't have that limited slip differential in the rear that torque vectors and overdrives the outside wheels. So it's not as tail happy as the newer generation, but it's still pretty planted. Bite point is nice and easy to find. And this transmission is nice and easy to row through the gears. Pretty good torque once you get above like 2,000, 2,500 RPM. Nice and easy to drive smoothly. Ride quality, not too bad. This is definitely a daily driver designed vehicle. I know, buds, I know, it's crazy back there. Daily driver designed vehicle, pretty comfortable at 60 miles an hour. Very little wind noise, some road noise from these larger, I believe they're 19-inch wheels, maybe 18-inch wheels with pretty thin sidewall. Nice and responsive throttle for some downshift rev matching. Switch over to comfort mode. Dampers do soften up a little bit. Generally, Audi, Volkswagen products, their adaptive dampers aren't anything to write home about. And they don't really change too much between the drive modes, but they always maintain some level of comfort, and that's why I do like them. I do like the resonance of this 4-cylinder as well. Sounds pretty meaty, has a nice exhaust burble off in the background. Lots of torque, very forgiving clutch. If you're not too comfortable driving in traffic, you won't have any concerns about stalling or anything like that. Visibility is great. I do feel like I'm sitting on top of the car, but I think that's just kind of characteristic of a hot hatch. But it's not on top in a bad way. I do have lots of glass, lots of visibility, no blind spots on any side, and I do have a pretty comfortable seating position. Sitting at 6th gear, very little engine noise, sitting around 1800-ish RPM. And this will definitely sip fuel on the highway. We'll get on the highway and talk more about up to speeds, but right now, I know, buds, I know. It's crazy. I was just so excited to go to daycare. Buddy Milo has been dropped off. He is a big fan of daycare, and he's always excited to go. So very happy that he enjoys it. He gets to see all of his dog friends, and I get to go to the office. So now we'll switch over into race mode. Do our little performance drive, corner, turn. and get going. Available devices, Apple CarPlay, boots up pretty quickly with the wired connection. I'm always a big fan of wired versus wireless. Check on our temperatures, see how we're looking. We're pretty warmed up. Maybe I'll throw it into ESC Sport. Nice physical button to do that. I guess when you're in other menus, it doesn't want you to do that. We do have a stoplight, so we do have to follow the law. Let's see if we can do a start in second. And this Golf R is pretty quick. You run out of road nice and quickly, but the gears, nice and throwy. Rev line is about 6,500 maybe. The car definitely encourages you to row through the gears. And really put that power down, run through that rev range and dig into boosts and stuff. I do like, even though it is pumped in and fake, I do like that race mode. Kind of gives you a little bit more extra resonance and stuff. I know I beat up on turbocharged 4-cylinders, but I do like the sound of this. But I do think I would prefer the newer generation Golf R's engine. I think it sounds a little bit more racy. Nice and easy to get that clutch engaged for a hill start. Very little rollback. The size of this car plus the torque really makes it easier for any driver to row through the gears and be confident that they're not going to stall or hold up traffic. So we'll throw in work address, see what the traffic's looking like. It looks like we'll stick with the highway, but I may go off and take my alternate route because there's a little bit more twists and turns and ability to row through the gears. Because I think the Golf R really shines in that it's a very livable commuting car. If you want to take it to the highway, you'll get 30 mpg. If you want to go through the back roads, you'll have the grip and the torque and the dynamics to have a little bit of fun. I think it really balances that daily driver that is more towards a comfort, but also doesn't sacrifice any performance and practicality. You got back seats, you got a small hatch that is still more practical than a trunk, in my opinion. And an added fun comes in a manual. Not many cars are doing that these days. Now obviously this Golf R has an advantage over the newer generation that it has more physical controls, volume tuning, climate controls, which is something that the new Golf definitely gets ripped into a lot about. And I'll say it, I'm a bigger fan of the newer Golf R anyways. I think it has been elevated a little bit more in its class without being too overpriced. And I do like that interior more, even though it is a little bit functionally more difficult. Now as we're getting on the highway, I love this thing. It's like a little pocket rocket. It pulls so hard, but it's so planted and dialed in. And I love how chuckable it is. It doesn't feel boaty, and I mean, my Audi S4 is not very boaty, but this is still way more dynamic and nimble than my car. I'd be curious the weight difference. I'm sure the all-wheel drive adds to the weight. Let's see if we can get up the highway speeds though and check out the noise. .422 is always a mishmash of different speeds and different drivers and stuff, so you just never know who you're gonna get stuck behind. I mean, sitting at 60 miles per hour in 5th gear. Oops, forgot to take off the throttle. Sitting at 60 miles an hour. While the engine is kind of revving up to accommodate for this hill, it's pretty quiet in here. Only really hearing road noise from these tires. And we're actually in race, so let's throw it over into comfort. Get some of that sound doctor to shut off. Less engine piped in. Yeah, pretty comfortable on the highway. Volkswagens are meant to be like Audis, driven on the Autobahn, so they always sound good at speed. Always comfortable, nice and well planted at any speed. And our fuel economy is inching up from 5 to 20 mpg. Be curious if I can get our current economy. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I think you could get well over 30 on a road trip, highway commute, no problem. Around town, depending how aggressive you are, you're probably going to be more closer to like 18, 16 mpg. And here's my stop. Throw back into race. Just love it. I love how angry it sounds. Very hot hatch inspired. Traffic's been pretty light today. I think a lot of people work from home in this area on Thursdays. So overall, I think I'll just sum up my thoughts here on this Volkswagen Golf R. Very nice for a daily commute. While I'm not the smoothest clutch or manual driver, I do really enjoy rowing the gears, and I think this Golf R kind of brings the spiciness of the hot hatch to the table with the manual transmission, but the comfort and amenities that you need in your daily drive. We have a Fender premium sound system. We have nice gauges and infotainment with Apple CarPlay. Nice, awesome, comfortable seats that are a little bit bolstered. There are just a couple more features in the newer generation Mark 8 Golf that bring it a little bit more up market and stuff, but this is very nice and fuel efficient, very comfortable, and pretty rowdy. So I think it makes for a great daily driver. So that being said, it's Dave from Both Drives. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would commute in the Golf R, this generation, or the newer generation, and if you do so yourself. And I will see you on the next one. Ciao.